Okay guys, beginning of day number 3. The guys are somewhere behind me. There we go, it's nice when the car starts, isn't it? Just in the car, and we're about to go to the gallery, which is in Camden, obviously Camden, London, and it's like the go-to bass shop here over in London, and super cool. I'm just hoping that I behave myself and don't, well, there's always danger when you go into a bass shop that bad things might happen. Guys are trying to get me to do some weird poses outside the gallery. This is the gallery. It's super cool bass shop. I used to do, there we go, the gallery bass merchant. I used to come here when I was a kid. Oh, not when I was a kid, when I was like, I don't know, early 20s, 17 years ago. But anyway, yeah, and I used to kind of like, check out all the basses online and stuff like that, and then come down. And it used to be, I used to live in Carlisle, so it was like 5.5 hours from my place. So I used to drive down, come here for 4 hours, and then drive back. I was so into it. But anyway, let's go inside and check it out.
I bet you're gonna try to rush the stage do I hit back or should I be afraid?
Guys, this is Martin, who is the mastermind behind the gallery here in London, and I was just saying to the camera that this is still the best bass shop in the UK. Like, it's just, everywhere you go there's something super sexy in every corner, and there's basses on top of that as well, so
and there's making going on.
So you're late.
yeah, and we're going to go downstairs as well and check out, because Martin makes basses here as well, so it's the real thing.
Come on, let's have a look.
You're not gonna change your mind. You'll never ever take a bowl of time. Being you is never gonna be ours. I think that's fine, 'cause only you can do it right. Yeah, only you can do it right.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm here with Charlie from the gallery. We've just been wandering around as you've been watching this vlog and checking out, and we just saw Charlie. We just thought we'd just grab him and get him to tell us some cool stuff. So Charlie, 5 questions. I might not be able to come up with 5.
Oh, dear.
But first of all, how long has the gallery been here?
Blimey, I think 22 years, 93.
How long have you been here?
1.5 years. I
Yeah.
wasn't born when it was.
That was question 2, by the way. Like, in terms of like the gallery and stuff, like what do you guys specialise in? Because you are the coolest shop in London. Like, what do you do?
Bass.
Mostly bass. Yeah.
I mean, I guess we've got a lot of custom instruments, a lot of vintage instruments, I suppose.
Yeah, you've got like these kind of crazy things. Tell us about this bass. What's the deal with it?
It's a 64 P bass.
Yeah.
It's all original apart from the finish. It's been refinished fairly recently. I think the guy who owned it before, it was that colour originally, but the guy spray painted over it.
Yeah. Well, it looks great though, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah, no, it's been done really well. I think it was done by John Bravewood.
And where's he based?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
the UK.
The UK somewhere.
Just with
yeah.
the UK, yeah. And like, because obviously you've got like a ton of P basses and a ton of jazz basses and some like super sexy ones as well. What do you prefer? What's your vibe? Because you're the guy that gets to play. You're sort of like you're living in the sweet shop, right? What's the favourite sweet?
Exactly. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm all over a nice vintage Fender.
Really,
60s Fender. That's me. That's what I'm at.
What do you play?
I've got a '84 Japanese Fender Jazz. That's as close as I could get to a 60s.
Yeah.
Without
sort of
paying
without
grand.
without giving them a kidney. Kidneys are, even though you can live without one, if you have one kidney, you can survive on one kidney, right? But yeah, don't keep your kidneys. But okay, I just want to say massive thanks to you, Charlie, for coming and hanging out with us, and let's get on with it. Here's D-Mac. D-Mac just asked me. D-Mac thought he had ninja powers, and he said, How do you know the name of all the basses? I said Denmark. It's on the headstock. Got all these jazz basses, guys. Oh, dirty. You know, I haven't been in here in years. Literally years I haven't been here. It's still the best bass shop in the UK. Like it is. There's just every corner. You're just like, oh wow, look at that. Oh wow, look at that. And there must be 10 like 60s P basses here. It's insane. Hey guys, so we were just hanging out here in the gallery and we met somebody that's in ScottSpaceEssence.com. What's your name?
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo. Have you got a website or anything?
No, not yet.
But he's going to, so check it out. I'll post something when he has. Thanks a lot. Take it easy.
Nice to meet you.
Sick of them yet. They say it like it's a threat, and then they tell you what it's like to know you better than you know yourself. They call you little chicken nugget, carrot soft crunch fangirl. But don't let it bother you. Don't let them get under your skin. Don't let them change the way you feel about anything. Don't let them change your mind. Don't ever let them take up all your time. Being you is never gonna be their job, babe, that's fine. 'Cause only you can do it right. Oh man, I'm stoked for the show. Well, maybe you should stay home, 'cause I don't wanna have to watch you march with kids again. You're much too old. You call me little chicken nugget, carrot soft crunch fangirl, but I won't let you get to me. I won't let you get under my skin. You'll never change the way I feel about anything. You're never gonna change my mind. You'll never ever take up all my time. Being me is never gonna be your job, babe, that's fine. 'Cause only I can do it right. You and your mohawk feeling super brave. I bet you're gonna try to rush the stage tonight. Do I hit back or should I be afraid? With everybody laughing at you, you just made my night. But none of us want to fight.
Okay, we just got back from Mo's house. The interview was amazing, as I knew it would be. It was really great hearing about the old stories. He was telling us about the first time he heard Jacko. He was on tour, I think it was with Jeff Beck over in Paris, and I think it was the tour manager got an album. He was like, "You've got to check this out," and it was Jacko's first album. After listening to that album, Mo he thought, oh, "I've got to get fretless. I've got to get this into my playing," and obviously nobody really knew anything about fretlesses back then, and he got a luthier to put a double bass fingerboard on his Fender Jazz. I know that sounds crazy, but the luthier did obviously, you know, playing it a lot. There was a lot of playing and a lot of sanding that went on, and fitted on the jazz bass, and it actually sounded, when I heard about this jazz bass, I was like, no way, but it sounded absolutely killer. And I think the thickness of the fingerboard, obviously, you know, when you're talking about basses resonating, the mass of wood that you have within the neck and the body has a, you know, it does play a large part, you know, towards that, and it was really interesting the way it resonated. It just, you know, that real growl that you get on a fretless, it really nailed it. And I'm super obsessed about thinking about, you know, just about the body woods, and how even without electronics there's just a huge difference in tone, just when you, even between basses that are made out of the same material, you know, never mind different basses made out of different materials. Yeah, but anyway, so we're at the pad now. The hot tub is seeing no action, thankfully, and although Lawrence and Gav did, I think they
Don't let them change the way you feel about anything.
Hey, so here we are at the end of day 3. Gav has got another can of San Miguel. Gav's now sponsored by San Miguel.
You sound like I'm the only one that's drinking.
Yeah. So we just ended the day 3 with we had Mo Foster to start with, and then after Mo Foster we went to we had Phil Mann. So Phil Mann came around. He was actually here, and it went really cool. It was cool because he was on the way to a gig as well, so he brought his bass round, and Lawrence, who's project managing this interview series we're doing, he's got his jazz bass. So I like comparing the jazz basses. They're actually both made by Overwater as well, and like really similar. And it's really interesting just checking out the difference between two basses that are pretty much identical and made by the same company, which is Overwater. And I always think that it's just super interesting that even if you make a bass from the same material, there can be just such a huge difference between the two basses in everything, just in the feel and the resonance of the instrument, and things like that. So, and that's why when you go to a bass shop, you can play 4 or 5 basses that are identical, made out of the same woods, with the same fingerboards and the same pickups, and each one will respond completely differently. And I think that's like the best thing and the worst thing at the same time, because obviously you want to find something that really works for you and is a really resonant instrument and just alive when you play it. And you can actually, a lot of the time I really think you can tell without plugging a bass in. In fact, a lot of the time I like to actually try basses without plugging them in, because then I get a feel for the resonance of the instrument, and I can pretty much tell what it's going to, not exactly, but what it's going to, the sound it's going to produce just by the way it feels when it's not plugged in. So if you haven't checked out that before, definitely mess around with that. So instead, when you're next time in the bass shop, pick up some basses and just play them not plugged in to start with, and just see, get a feel for the bass and see if it's if it's really resonant and that the sustain's good and it feels like, I really like it when I play a note and you can kind of feel the resonance in the body. And some basses just don't have that you'll play it and it won't be resonant. But the gag is that it's most of the time it's not actually anything to do with how the bass has been made, or because you can get two basses identical, one will resonate great and the other one won't, and it's because it's made out of wood. Wood isn't it's not, every bit of wood is completely different, and it's almost impossible to test what it's going to sound like before you put it together. So I think it was really interesting. Anyway, Phil came round, he was an absolute star, and tomorrow we've got a heavy day. Actually, who have we got tomorrow? Let me have a look. So tomorrow we've got Chris Fatty Hargreaves in the morning, and we're going to his boat. Chris has got a wicked barge, so we're going to go and do the interview on the boat. You'll see the footage for that. We've also got Jerry Meehan tomorrow, who's worked with Robbie Williams for the last 10 years, I think, and wrote and produced a lot of songs with Robbie Williams, who was, I'm not even sure if the guys in the States will know who Robbie is, but he was just a massive artist over here in Europe, and just one of the best frontmen you'll ever see, just really killer frontman. And Jerry's also played like all the West End shows and things like that. And he was actually, it's got a really interesting story, because he went to a music school called Chetham's, which is in Manchester, and when he was 12, it's like a boarding school, and where music is the primary focus of the entire school. And Jerry went there, and his classmates were like Dave Walsh, who you'll have probably seen me playing with. If you've seen a recent video of me playing a trio, the drummer actually went to school, that same boarding school with Jerry. And Max Beasley, who's an actor now, lives in LA, he's done a ton of stuff over there, but he's also a classical percussionist and a drummer as well, so they all went to school together. And then Jerry was actually an oboist? Was it an oboist? No, a bassoonist. He was a classical bassoonist, and then came down to London, got into the whole bass thing, and then now runs his own studio where people like Adele have recorded, Annie Lennox, obviously Robbie Williams, whole host of One Direction, which is obviously weird because like Sandy Beals was in yesterday, who's the bass player for One Direction. That was on day 2. But One Direction have recorded there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you into the studio so you can see it and check it out and all that kind of thing. And right now we're actually just Gav's editing. Are you editing still?
Oh yeah.
Or uploading or something? And yeah, talking about Sandy Beals, I think we might be using a track of his on Sandy Beals that's been playing with One Direction. He's been working with the guy from Wheatus, who lives in, I think he's over in New York, isn't he?
Yeah, he was. He said he-
Like Wheatus, you know, sort of like, give it to us, Gav. I got 2 tickets to Iron Maiden, baby. Just like that. That's all we're having. Yeah, wicked tune though, right? So anyway, Sandy's been working with him.
If you can work out what that was.
Check this out. So if you want to check out this track before we use it for the video, I think we're going to use it for a video. He did send us a track, but I can't remember which one it was. I think it was this one.
It is that.
Is it this one? It is this one, yeah. So we're going to be using this for day 3, right?
Correct.
Which is, no, that's
Yeah.
this video. Yeah, we're going to use it on this video, so I don't need to show them it. See, this is why you shouldn't make videos at 1:30 in the morning. 1:30 in the morning.
You can't change the space-time continuum.
Yeah, I'm not going to show you the because it's played all throughout this video.
Yeah. No, cut that out.
No, leave this bit in. It's
Oh.
awesome. Yeah, absolutely leave it in. It'd be funny. But if you do want to check it out, anyway, it's Wheatus, Only You, featuring Josh Devine, spelled Devine, like me, and Sandy Beals. Yeah, so
An awesome video.
yeah, and it's really cool actually. The video, I'll show you the video. I'm not gonna I won't play it because the music will already be playing. It'll be very confusing for you. You'll have the same track playing twice.
Galloping horses.
Yeah, it'd be like galloping horses, yeah. So we're going to see, anyway, we're going to see Chris Hargreaves, Jerry Meehan, and then at the end, so it's a 3-day interview. Every day, to date, we've done 2 interviews.
3 interviews.
Tomorrow is a 3-interview day, so I'm scared already. Chris Fatty Hargreaves in the morning, then with Jerry Meehan, and then finally in the evening, we're going to hang out with Phil Mulford, who is, you know, one of the godfathers of session bass here in London. He does all of the TV work, well, him and Steve Pearce really. He does all the TV work, all the like loads of West End shows and things like that. He's also played with people like Shaka Khan. In fact, Lionel Richie. In fact, last time I hung out with Phil, I was trying to hook up with him. He came down and when we were talking, I was just like, it's just like one of these cool stories. And I just said to Phil, I was like, "Are you going to come down this afternoon?" He was like, "Actually, I'm sound checking with Lionel Richie, but I'll come down after that." I was just like, it just doesn't get any cooler than that, does it? You know. Yeah. So that's what's going on. I'm actually, just to give you a peek into what I'm listening to, I've obviously been listening to Lawrence Cottle right now because we've got Lawrence Cottle in a couple of days as well. I'm really looking forward to interviewing Lawrence Cottle because I've just been a massive fan of Lawrence's forever, for as long as I can remember. Before, you know, when I found out about him, he's ferocious. So that'll be coming the day after tomorrow. A lot of interviews, so hopefully we will survive. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for following along these vlogs, and just massive shout out to Gav as well, because he's putting a lot of work into this and editing them in the day, and yeah, it's tough stuff. But take it easy, and I'll see you next time in the shed. Pow!